Soft beams of golden light filtered through the palace dome, shimmering across the coral floors. The day had just begun, but the ocean around Nwa Mmiri felt different, slower, heavier, as though the sea itself held its breath. Ndidi tossed restlessly on her small coral bed in the servants' quarters. Her dreams had been strange. She saw black threads creeping through palace walls, wrapping around pillars, choking the light from the coral lanterns. "No," she whispered in her sleep, her hands glowing faintly as if reacting to what she saw. "Please stop." She jerked awake, breathing hard, the glow from her palms fading quickly. "Just a dream," she murmured. "It's just a dream." But deep inside, she felt it wasn't. She looked toward the ceiling where sunlight filtered down through the water. The palace shimmered as beautifully as ever, but something in the currents had changed. It carried a whisper, dark and cold, like danger waiting to rise. The grand dining chamber was alive with motion. Princess Ira sat at the long coral table, tail shimmering violet and gold. Her attendants, Muna, Halima, and Tata, moved swiftly, arranging her morning meal. Nalia, the newest maid, hovered at the side with a gentle smile, carrying a tray of coral fruit and crystal cups. Her dull red tail shimmered faintly silver under the light. "Careful, Nalia," Muna ordered sharply. "The princess doesn't like delays." "Yes, my lady," Nalia said softly, bowing her head. As she leaned forward to set the tray, her fingers brushed the rim of Ira's cup. A faint ripple of black mist slipped into the drink, too subtle for anyone to see. "Just polishing, my princess," Nalia murmured sweetly, eyes gleaming for a split second. Princess Ira didn't notice. She was busy admiring her reflection in a shell mirror Halima held. "Perfect as always," she said proudly. "Father will host the council soon. I must look radiant." "You always do, my princess," Tata added quickly, and Muna nodded in agreement. Behind them, Nalia's lips curved faintly, satisfied. The curse had begun its quiet work. Later that morning, Ndidi carried a basket of seaweed through the eastern corridor. She stopped suddenly. The coral wall ahead seemed darker, faint black lines pulsing across its surface like veins. "Strange," she whispered, brushing it with her fingers. The moment she touched it, a soft golden light flared from her hands, pushing back the shadow. The darkness sizzled, then vanished. Ndidi gasped softly, glancing around to see if anyone saw. But the hall was empty. From a distance, Nalia had been watching. Her eyes flickered red for an instant. "That light again, it feels like fire in my veins," she thought. "That girl, she's no ordinary servant." For the first time, Queen Zuberi, hidden inside Nalia's disguise, felt unease. In the servant quarters, tension brewed. Tolu was helping a younger maid arrange coral bowls when Muna's angry voice echoed down the hall. "You. That's uneven. Do you call that proper presentation? Start again." The young maid trembled and nodded quickly. Tolu frowned. "She doesn't have to speak that way," she muttered under her breath. Shade, polishing a mirror nearby, turned sharply. "Tolu, hush. Do you want trouble? Muna will hear you." "I'm tired of everyone being afraid," Tolu said quietly. "It's not right." Shade folded her arms. "You've changed, Tolu. You used to know how things work here. Now you're acting like Ndidi." Tolu looked at her sadly. "Maybe that's not such a bad thing." Shade's expression hardened, jealousy flashing in her eyes. She turned away without replying. From the corner, Nalia listened quietly, a faint smile on her face. "Ah, cracks in the coral," she thought. "Soon the whole palace will fracture." That night, while the palace slept, Nalia drifted silently into the royal garden. A glowing underwater grove filled with luminous plants and singing coral. She opened her small shell pouch. Inside, a black mist swirled like living smoke. "By the next moon," she whispered, "the light of this kingdom will fade, and they will turn against one another." She released the mist. Instantly, the glowing sea plants dimmed. Their light flickered, and shadows crawled up their stems like cracks spreading through glass. But she wasn't alone. Behind the coral archway, Ndidi had wandered in. She couldn't sleep. Her dreams had been filled with the same darkness she saw now before her eyes. When she saw Nalia, her breath caught. The maid's shadow flickered, just for a moment, and her eyes glowed red. "No," Ndidi whispered softly. That's not possible. Her hands glowed faint gold again, reacting instinctively. The black mist recoiled, sizzling as if burned by invisible fire. Nelia froze, spinning around. "Who's there?" she hissed, her voice no longer timid but sharp and powerful. Ndidi ducked behind a coral pillar, heart pounding. Her palms still glowed faintly, light spilling through the cracks of her fingers. Nelia scanned the garden, her eyes burning faintly crimson. Seeing nothing, she turned back toward the dying plants, smirking slightly. "Curious," she murmured. "Something stirs in this palace, something that doesn't belong." She glided away into the shadows. Ndidi stayed hidden, trembling, her heart racing. "Who are you really?" she whispered to herself. "And why does your presence make the ocean feel colder?" As the coral lights flickered uncertainly, her hands glowed once more, a gentle, golden warmth fighting against the darkness spreading through Nwa Mmiri. The garden grew silent after Nelia's departure. Only the faint hum of dying coral remained, their glow fading one by one like stars vanishing at dawn. Ndidi stepped out slowly from her hiding place. Her golden light dimmed as fear and confusion battled inside her chest. "What did I just see?" she whispered. She knelt beside a wilting sea flower, touching it gently. The moment her fingers brushed its petals, the black veins receded, briefly, before surging back stronger than before. A low, haunting voice drifted through the water, carried by unseen currents. "Light cannot save what the ocean has already claimed." Ndidi's eyes widened. She turned. No one was there. Only shadows shifting between coral. "Who's there?" No answer. Only a sudden swirl of dark water rushing past her. The golden glow from her hands flickered wildly, illuminating faint outlines, faces maybe, hidden within the darkness before they vanished. The palace trembled faintly above her, as if reacting to the curse. Distantly, she could hear the echo of the royal gong, one then two soft chimes, signaling unrest among the guards. Ndidi looked upward toward the grand coral towers where the royal chambers shimmered faintly. Her breath caught. For just a heartbeat, she saw Nelia's shadow across the princess's window, her red eyes glinting faintly before disappearing. "She's not just a maid," Ndidi whispered, voice trembling. "She's something else." The coral garden dimmed completely. Dark water curled around her ankles, whispering in a language she didn't understand. Then a sudden flash. Her palms burned gold, sending a pulse through the water, light clashing against shadow for a brief instant, forming a rippling explosion of brilliance that spread through the garden. The darkness retreated, but not before a whisper lingered in her ears. "The tide has chosen you, little one." Everything went still. Ndidi gasped, sinking to her knees as the glowed,